Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. I got me 3 knives. Look at them, kind of similar. They need some help. Let's check it out. So like I said, I'm looking at these 3 knives, and as you can see, they all have something in common. The handles. And that's a question I got for you. Look at this. Okay. Cracked ice, right? Oh, wait, no. Mother of pearl. I don't know. I have no idea. What's the difference? If you know, comments below. So I have these 3 knives, and like I said, they all have something in common. The handles. That's about all they have in common. We got this guy, which is just a simple single blade jack. The difference is sheep's foot, right? Little unusual, don't see much of that. And of course it has the cracked ice, mother of pearl, whatever you want to call it, handle. And it's in pretty good condition. Even the blade hasn't been beat up. And very nice. I like this. Very nice little knife. The handle's not damaged, just needs a good cleanup. Very cool. And here's the tank stamp on it. You can see it there. Here's the info. So there you go. Nice little imp to clean up. The next one is a little unusual. This one I've never seen before. Well, the maker. It's a fisherman. See that? It's an imperial, right? Well, not really. If you look carefully here, look at that. Never heard of it. Originally, I thought it said Jolki, Republic of Ireland. Here's the tank stamp. Well, turns out it's Jowicki, Jolwicki. Jowicki, this name and the info. Never heard of them. Didn't know much about him. Looked him up. Not a lot of information out there. But the stuff that I found was kind of interesting because I was thinking, this is an imperial, right? Well, eventually. And this guy just needs a good cleanup. It's a really nice fisherman. Got a bail on it. It says fish knife on it. The actual fish knife tool has a hook remover or disgorger, whatever you want to call it, and a bottle opener, a nice long sweeping clip on it, and, like I said, the bail, and in pretty good condition, just needs a good clean. We'll get into the info on that when we start cleaning it up. Now, the third one was a surprise. These knives, I don't know where I got them. Some of them I just found at antique stores, and I believe some were gifts. But this guy, see this? It's an imperial, right? Camp King. Well, not so much. Have a close look at the badge. It says Super Camp King. It's not just a Camp King, it's a Super Camp King. And if you look at this, it's a beast. Look how big it is. And of course the problem is, one of the blades is broken. So I thought I'd look it up and see what blade that is and maybe replace it. Well, not so much. Couldn't find any info on it. Very little out there. And I was thinking, why is it called a Super Camp King? Well, you've got the big blade, you've got the bottle opener and the screwdriver, you've got your awl, punch, whatever you want to call it, this blade, and a can opener. Remember that now. This blade, I believe, was a pen. To replace it, well, we're going to have to make one. I'm assuming it's a pen blade. So I went through my bag of bones and I found this guy. And it's an imperial blade. It's one of the main blades. And I think it's from an old Camp King that was pretty beat up. And I'm thinking, we can replace this. It looks the same size as far as the ricasso and the tang, and reshape it into a smaller pen blade. So that's what we're going to do there. But remember I said it has a can opener? Well, the reason it's called a super duper Cam King is this thing. You see that? What does it say there? Interesting. Can opener, beverage. What? I thought this was a can opener. But you can't open a beverage with this. This one, when you pull this up, you'll see what I mean. Pop top, right? Look at that. You put it in the can and go, psst, right? Chug-a-lug. There you go. That's the difference, and that's why it's a super duper Camp King. Needs a good cleanup. Everything's in pretty good condition except that blade. We need to replace that blade. Hopefully, it'll be cool because I can tell you, I couldn't find much on about it. Here's the tank stamp in the info. So, we got 3 knives, same handles, and they all need some help. See, here we have the 3 ne'er-do-wells. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go through and clean these guys up the usual way. We'll go through them quickly. You've seen me do it before. I use 1000 grit to clean everything up initially, get all the worst stuff off, and then I go over with a higher grade, 10,000, which really shines it up. And then if I feel it needs it, I'll use Mothers. This guy, we're going to have to take apart, replace that, which means modifying this. So we'll get into that. So I'm using the 1000 grit foam backed. It gives it a nice even polish. We'll go over the blades, clean them up, rub everything else. We've got to get the weld done. Once we've done that, then I'll go to 10,000 and see how we're doing. When you're cleaning the blade, you always need to support it. You don't want to do that and be pushing down on it while you're rubbing. So get a piece of wood and just hold it there. Always check to see how sharp the blade is. Be aware of that. These are pretty dull. I'm not going to have to tape them up when working on it. So we'll start with that. Here we go. Elbow grease. I start off by just generally cleaning it up, and then I finish it off by doing it the same way every time. And that goes for each time I change my sandpaper. Be very careful here along the edge of these scales. Don't want to press too hard. If you catch it, you're going to break it. Now we go to 10,000. We're going to do that all over it. And here we have it here. Nice and clean. Shiny. Just need to sharpen it. Jawika Company originally was out of Germany, and it was this name here. Don't ask me to pronounce it. Jawika Stone Fabric manufacturer, which was a low-end cutlery company. They began about in 1928, and as Kleinwerfs, this name. Sorry, my pronunciation's not that great. That was in 1939. They opened a branch factory in Ireland, in, I'm going to say Loosveld, in Ireland in 1960. Later on, Imperial bought them in 1978. They actually closed down about a year and a half before Schrade closed up. So there you go. Useless information about a company I never heard of before. Let's clean it up. Start with the blades. All over again, 1,000 grit and then 10,000. So here we are with 1,000. This took a lot. And you can see there's pitting. It has a lot more pitting on it and that sort of thing. But it did clean up. However, very interesting. And that is, I thought this was a clamshell. But if you look at the ends here, there's no clips. And the problem is, look at that. See that? And I'm not sure how this comes apart. Now, I try to look in on it and see there's some sort of clip here, and I think it might be although I'm not sure, a way to slide it off. I'm just not sure, and I'm not really willing to take it apart. I think I'm just going to have to deal with that, live with that. It's not a big deal. And other than that, it's pretty cool knife. something different, a good addition to my fish knife collection, something different. I will tell you that of the huge amount that I have, Imperial surprisingly had more than any of the other manufacturers. You know, I've got Imperial, Hammer brand, Colonial, and a couple of others, but Imperial by far more than any other. And this just happens to be an Imperial by default, right? So we have that one done. Now I want to go to 10,000 on this and see if it'll help it, and then we'll get on to the big guy. It certainly helped it a lot, so I'll just keep at it. This looks like it's been chromed. If you look at the tip here, it's kind of peeling. Hence the budget cutlery company. I am a budget guy, so there's that. So there we go, that guy with the 10,000. It kind of helped, cleaned it up a bit, a little bit more shinier. And of course we need to sharpen the blade. So now, this guy. So with this guy, we're going to need to take the clams off. These are clamshell. And take that off, and then take out the pin here and see if we can get this in, the replacement in here, without taking the whole thing apart. I'm not a big fan of doing that. I think it's the best way to clean a knife, to take it all apart and put it back together. It's not too bad with the clams if you are careful with the clips, because like me, my pinning leaves something to be desired, and the clams hide that. But let's see where we are. And of course, we're going to have to modify this blade. If you're not sure how to take the clams off, you have to be careful. Only one side you can get to the actual clips. If you look here, these clips are in there really tight. You can't get in there. But on this side, they have cutouts here where the clips go into. See that? So you can get in there and pop them off, pull the blade and slide it off, and slide it down off of these, and hopefully not break a clip. Somebody said it might be a good idea to heat these. I do have a heat gun. A little nervous about using it, but I'm going to heat it up at least a little bit and see if it makes it easier to get these off without breaking them. The boss wants to know what I'm doing, and she's thirsty again. Don't know why she drinks out of that. No, height. It's height. I'm being safe. You're doing your job. Thank you. Always have to be nice to the boss. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this just to catch that clip and lift it slightly. You don't want to, you got to be really careful. There you go. You see how it's come out. A little bit more. I just wanted to. Okay. I really don't want to bend it any more than I need to. Come on. It's right on the edge where I want it. There we go. Oh, I should have taken the bail off first. You can see it slides up and comes off. And there's the clip there and that clip there. You can see I didn't bend it very much, just enough to get it over there. Let's take the bail off. Don't lose that. Let's do this other side. I think I want to heat it up again. And do that same thing again, hopefully. Oh, this one's on tight. Very tight. Let me get something else, a little screwdriver. Oh. Man, this is on tight. Worried about this one. There we go. Gotcha. And then slide it off that way. Okay, so we've got to replace this guy. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to knock this pin out and then we can get it out and repin it. I hope. May have to take that one out as well to repin it, because I can tell you these springs are pretty good. They might be too tough to do it without taking that one out. So I'm going to use my Dremel press just to drill out these two ends here so we can tap it through. I'm going to try with just this one first and see if we can get it back together. May have to do the same thing there. Safety glasses. That came out easy. Things flying all over the place again. There it is there. Has a pattern number on it. Maybe I should look that up. Huh, that was interesting. The pattern number in here actually refers to these, the clamshell, on how to put a cover on the frame. Interesting. Felix Miranda in 1942. It has since expired. Well, apparently this is a sketchy part of it, and the boss is here for a safety inspection to make sure I'm being safe. She said, check the sharpness of the blades. What I want to try and do is figure out a way, easy go, to see if I can get that hole to line up. No, don't do that, Mary. Not good. I've got to move away from her because she's being silly. Now, well, I just wanted to see if it looks like it will line up, which I think it will. So let's reshape the blade. I have to get away from her. I'm going to go to the file, to the vise. So looking at these two, let me see if I can show you this. Here's the broken one, and here is the matching of the tang. Now, if you look carefully, the bigger blade, the tang is slightly deeper there. So what's going to happen is we're going to have to probably trim that down to get everything to line up. I'm going to mark out a pen blade, make it a little bigger, and then file it all down. Here goes nothing. Huh. Look at that. Kind of matches, doesn't it? How long we can make it. That will go to there. Oh yeah, we have to keep it about the same length. So we'll do that. You'll see I was dipping water on it because I could feel it getting warm. It wasn't getting really hot. Now what I do is I cut in the top and then the bottom and then grind it down here until I'm about 3/4 of the way deep into the blade. Reason is I don't want to go the whole way because that blade will fly off. Don't know where it's going to go. Mary's being nosy. I have to be careful. So I stop and then just use this to snap it off. Okay, so after much grinding and whatever, that's where we are with it. I'm hoping that it'll fit in there. And then, of course, we got to sharpen it, clean it up, and make it look respectable. And then try and put it in there and see if it's going to work. Not that great, but we'll see what happens. I also need a nail nick, and yeah, it's right there on the pen. It's tight. Wow. I need to shorten it a lot. Got to take that pin out so I can get it to work. We got springs both ways on this thing. Hey. So there we are there. That closes, that closes. Oh, look at that. It's tight. Oh well. Gonna have to make it shorter. Okay, so I've reduced it, but I could still see the old nail nick. So I gave it a swedge, which kind of got rid of the old nail nick. Still got to clean it up to get it exactly lined up. And then we got to clean the whole blade because I've been grinding away at this thing. And hopefully it'll clean up into a reasonable looking blade. And then we're going to have to put a nail nick, which is always exciting. So now, that's after 220. Now I'm going to go to 1,000 just to shine it a little bit, and 10,000 to hopefully get it looking at least similar to the other blades. We have a nail nip, but it's crooked. Wow. Thought I had it lined up. Okay, that'll have to do. It's a thing of beauty. Look at that. That's ugly. Oh well, what do we do? Phew, at last. Wow. Really struggled to get this pin in. And here's the reason. There is a spring on this side for this guy and for this guy. And we have 2 springs on this side. But look carefully. You see that? That right there? That's this spring, which has a piece sticking down with the hole drilled in. Every time I try to line it up, it slid back and forth, but finally got there, hopefully. Actually don't even need to drop it, I don't think. It lines up exactly with that one. Huh. Well, a little sharpen, and then we'll be done. Put the handles back on, sharpen everything up, and we're good to go. Well, we got it back together again. We didn't break anything. That's always a plus. Bail back on, shined everything up. All I have to do now, sharpen this blade with that awful nail neck, and this blade, and then we're good to go. I did oil up here. I want the oil to seep a little bit. However, I've run out of time. It's late. So I've got to get ready for work tomorrow. When I get back, I'll sharpen it up. And we'll have a look at all 3 again. Got to sharpen the other ones too. We have some reasonably shiny knives here. Now it's time to make them sharp. So you all know I use this system here. I really like this system. And this is a portable version, so it's fairly easy to use. Obviously, you need to get your angles right. I use this Klein portable. About $20 on Amazon. How level your surface is you're doing this on. Nice, quick, easy setup. Right now I have 800 on here. To take these off, you loosen that screw. You got a spring back here. You just pull back and it'll release off. Now I like to give myself as much room on the front here when I set it up. Now, I've heard comments of people saying that they've broken the clamps. Little squeaky there. You don't need to do it any tighter than that. You just want to hold the knife steady. So I don't know how tight they are getting with it. There's my angle right now. I need to change that angle so I can... I'm a 17-degree guy. Remember, the surface is half a degree out. So that's pretty close. And that's your rough adjustment. You can fine-tune it using this piece here. And you can see I can... All I'm going to do is do long sweeps, couple each side. Now, you should... It's always a good idea to mark your blade along the edge, because what you want to finally get is a nice consistent edge along there. It should be the same depth in and everything. So no pressure on it or anything, just the weight of this is enough. And you're going to sweep. And if I look, I'm getting a nice even line where I marked with the pen. What degree you use is up to you. I'm just a 17 guy. I find it really easy to do, and I get a good edge out of it for what I do. If you food prep knife, you might want a steeper angle than that. Some people go down to 15, even 12 on some of these things. And just a couple of swipes with the strop. Both directions, both sides, obviously. My same piece of paper. Look at that. Oot. Now we're cooking. Now, cutting paper obviously is easy. The trick is if you can go and stop and carry on. Go, stop, carry on. Then you know we're good. So there you are. I'm going to do the fish knife quickly. I'll show you that when I'm done. And then we're going to deal with this guy. Let's see if we can. There we go. Let's do the super guy now. The big blade. Now we got to do that little ugly blade that I made. This we're going to basically, we have to go with 300 as much as possible to get a nice smooth edge on it. I totally reshaped this thing, so we want to get that nice, clean, consistent edge with the 320, and then we'll go 800 and strop. What do you think? It's not a very long braid, so the cut's not going to be very long, but hey, it's cutting. And really, a pen blade was designed for fine work. Ideally, the blade should be really thin with a very sharp grind on it. They were designed to clean up the quills for writing back in the day. So the sharper, the more delicate the quill, the neater your writing. So there you are. Long movie, I know. Here we have them. The 3 cracked ice, mother of pearl, whatever they're meant to be, knives. I really like it. It's pretty cool, this stuff. I like this mother of pearl. Cracked ice, cracked pearl. Don't forget to tell me in the comments. So here's that single blade jack. Very nice. I really like this knife. And it would be a very nice knife for a slip. Okay, look how thin it is. And I've had a lot of questions as why do we need a slip? 3 reasons, for me anyway. 1, a slip is a cool thing to make. It's nice and easy. It's made out of leather. And if you do it right, it looks really cool when you pull it out of your pocket and you drop the knife out. There's that. The other reason is if you keep your knife in your pocket with your keys or other things in your pocket, change, whatever, it's going to get nicks and bumps and scratches and bruises, and this stuff will break. So having it in a slip protects it. But the main reason is these knives, the majority of folders out there, especially these older ones, the vintage style like this, are slip joints. They don't lock. And you don't want to have this in your pocket and it does that. And you don't know, and you kneel down or something, this little tippy blade thing here is going to go in you. Or you reach in, and even if it's that far out, you reach in and you catch that. Safety thing. So safety is a good thing. Enough about slips, back to the knife. Really like this one. Why? Unusual sheep's foot. And it actually cleaned up pretty good. You can see there. These old knives, trying to clean them up and keep them clean is not easy. The steel will patina on its own very easily. And of course, rust and things like that. So you have to maintain them. I've put a bit of oil in all of them on their joints, on the bolster sides with the blades, the moving sides. And this one has a half stop and then closes. Very nice. It's got pretty good snap to it with a knife. So there you go. And this is an Imperial sheep's foot single blade jack. And very nice. I like it. This guy. And if you remember, this was that Joel whatever. And just a regular fisherman. You can see that. Very typical. This one does have a bail in the top, and it's a two-blade, a tool and a blade. Very cool. You can see here with all my cleaning, and I put oil in, the oil is rusty. So it just helps with the movement of the blades. It makes them a little bit smoother. Not a lot of snap left in these. But you know what? Works for me. The problem I have with this one is I didn't know this clamshell is just, there's no clips or anything. I don't know how it pops on. I don't know if it's a sliding thing or whatever. Anyway, I didn't want to try and take it apart. I just bend things and then you're done. But pretty cool knife. Haven't heard of that company. And yep, I have another fisherman. Woot. Always a good thing. I have my fisherman collection is growing. And this has that imperial look about it, which, if you remember on the history of it, they eventually did become part of Imperial when they opened their plant in Ireland. And then this beastie. Oh, an Imperial Super Camp King. And you can see it there. It says it there. And if you remember, you remember, it had just about everything you'll ever need on a camper. The true old beverage opener. There. With this big, where you popping it in like that, and you get that big angled divot in it. If you remember that, you're old like me. And, surprisingly, they all sharpened up very nicely, cleaned up nicely. Here's the awl and the bottle opener and screwdriver. And then, of course, my pen blade. Well, kind of. The problem is I used a main blade to do it, which made it really thick on top and thin on the bottom. Kind of a pen blade shape, not perfect. Hey. And of course my ugly, ugly nail neck. I have to figure out how to do that. Even gave it a little choil. Actually sharpened up, which now I have the Super Camp King. Like I said, very little info on this. I think I found one picture of a Camp King super guy like this. And you can see how thick it is. Pretty cool. A nice addition to my collection. You be safe though when you're sharpening these things. Got to be careful. Very easy to cut yourself. You're like, is it sharp? Oh, yeah, it is. So just be careful. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. We'll be back. We got us some very cool knives here. I got some more projects I want to look at. Some rehandling and things like that. So, even came across some electrician's knives I forgot. So there you go. We're looking at fishermen, barlows, electrician knives, jacks, all sorts of things. Very cool. It's summer, right? Can't go wrong. Thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And we'll see you again soon.